How do you walk 20 to 25 dogs off leash without the use of e-collars and treats? Here is an example of me last summer walking about 20, 25 dogs, bunch of different breeds, and I believe there's 2 dogs on a long line. So here you can see there's a person with their dog is about to come up to us. What we teach here is that you cannot go say hello to any other dogs. Before I press play again, you're going to see all of my dogs looking at me for direction. That's because I am the fun, I am the dopamine, I control the fun, the freedom, the food. And I'm also the negative. These dogs also know, as fun as I can be, I can strip it away from them very, very quickly. So you can see as we approach, I start getting a little bit louder. I start commanding our dogs in. And here you can see they're all engaged with me. You're going to see a little chihuahua fuck it up for us here though. And I'm going to pause it any second. She goes and say hello. I'm going to pause it right there. And you can see she says hello and sniffs the dog. Only for about a second or two. We do not actually encourage that whatsoever. If you know Bambi, she's an absolute fucking lovely little nightmare who don't fucking listen, but hey ho, she's been here for 4 or 5 years. But you can see all the other dogs, a bit more of the work drive dogs, are engaged with me. This is where we're now walking forward. It was only a second or two sniff, and you can see they're engaged with us. The reason why we do not need to bribe our dogs with treats, or the reason why we don't need to have an emotional charge attached towards us regarding with the e-collar, is that we articulate that our mark works 100% of the time. The only reason why your dog will not listen to recall and get distracted by triggers is because the emotional charge attached towards your mark, which is your voice, does not work. That just means you've been putting your dog in an environment that they're not ready for, and you're trying to use things like tools, like a treat or like an e-collar, where you're going to control the dog in case of an emergency. They have their use cases e-collars, they have their use cases treats, but when it comes to becoming off leash, we have trained over 2,000 dogs. It is completely unnecessary if you need to use these tools, because all that it means is you put your dog in an environment where you haven't actually trained the dog through classical conditioning, stimulus is attached towards the response, to a high degree. Yes, your mark might work 9 times out of 10, but when there's a deer, when there's a rabbit, when there's a squirrel, when there's other dogs, does it work? You can see even with Bambi, she got distracted for a second or two. I actually yelled and she came straight back, break the fixation. And that is what we mean by your mark working 100% of the time.